Chapter 1. The Invisible Weight We Carry. Have you ever said guys when every fiber of your being screamed, no? Picture this. It's 11:47 p.m. You're exhausted. Your inbox is overflowing. Your body aches for sleep. And then, ping, a message pops up. Hey, can you help me with something real quick? You stare at the screen. You hesitate. You know you're drained. But your fingers betray you. Sure, you reply. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Let me tell you a story. In 2014, I met a woman named Maya. She was the kind of person who lit up a room, always smiling, always helpful, always saying yes. She was the go-to person for everything: work, family, friends, even strangers. But behind that radiant smile was a woman unraveling. One day, Mia collapsed in the middle of a meeting, burnout, complete physical and emotional exhaustion. Her body had finally said what her voice never could. No more. That moment changed her life and mine, because I realized something. We are taught to say yes as a virtue, but we are rarely taught the power of no. No is not rejection. No is not selfish. No is a boundary. No is a declaration of self-worth. What if I told you that every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to yourself? Let that sink in. This talk is not about being negative. It's about being intentional. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, your life. So let's begin this journey together. Let's explore the power of saying no. And by the end of this talk, I promise you, no will become your new superpower. Ready to unlock it? Let's dive into Chapter 2. Chapter 2. The Myth of Niceness. When yes becomes a cage. What if I told you that being nice is sometimes the most dangerous thing you can be? Let's talk about the word nice. From the time we're little, we're taught to be nice. Nice kids share their toys. Nice students don't talk back. Nice employees say yes to extra work. Nice people don't make others uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Nice is not the same as kind. Nice is often compliance dressed up as virtue. Let me introduce you to Daniel. Daniel was a rising star at a tech startup. Brilliant coder, team player, always the first to volunteer. He said yes to every request: extra hours, weekend projects, mentoring new hires. He was the nice guy everyone loved. But Daniel was drowning. He missed his sister's wedding because of a last-minute product launch. He skipped therapy sessions to attend meetings. He stopped sleeping more than 4 hours a night. And when he finally burned out and took a leave of absence, guess what happened? The company replaced him in 2 weeks. No ceremony, no thank you, just a new name on the door. Daniel realized something painful. He had been nice to everyone but himself. Have you ever done that? Have you ever betrayed your own needs just to avoid disappointing someone? Here's the paradox. The more you say yes to others, the more you say no to yourself. And over time, that imbalance becomes a prison. But here's the good news. Saying no is not a rejection of others. It's a commitment to yourself. It's saying, I matter. My time matters. My energy matters. And when you honor yourself, you show others how to honor you too. So the next time someone asks you for something that feels wrong, ask yourself, am I being kind or just nice? Because kindness includes honesty. Kindness includes boundaries. Kindness includes saying no. In Chapter 3, we'll explore how saying no can actually deepen relationships, not destroy them. Ready to flip the script? Let's go. Chapter 3, Boundaries Build Bridges, How No Strengthens Relationships. Have you ever said yes just to keep the peace and ended up resenting the person you said it to? Let's talk about relationships. We often think that saying no will hurt people, that it will push them away, that it will make us seem cold, distant, or selfish. But here's the twist. Saying no can actually bring people closer. Let me tell you about Sarah and her best friend Lila. Sarah was the yes friend, always available, always accommodating. When Lila needed help moving apartments, Sarah canceled her weekend plans. When Lila wanted to vent at 2 a.m., Sarah picked up the phone, even when she had a big presentation the next morning. But over time, Sarah started feeling bitter. She felt used, unseen, and worst of all, she never said anything. Until one day, she snapped. I'm not your emotional dumping ground, she yelled. Lila, stunned, hurt, confused. But after the dust settled, something amazing happened. They talked. really talk. Sarah shared how she felt. Lila listened. And for the first time, their friendship became mutual, not one-sided. That moment of no was the beginning of a deeper connection. Because here's the truth. Boundaries are not walls. They're bridges. They show people where you end and where they begin. They teach others how to treat you. Think about it. Would you rather have a friend who always says yes but secretly resents you, or a friend who says no when needed but means every yes they give? Say no builds trust. It shows authenticity. It invites honest conversations. And yes, some people won't like it. Some will push back. Some will walk away. But the ones who stay, they're the ones who truly value you, not just your compliance. So the next time you fear that no will break a bond, ask yourself, is this relationship built on truth or on obligation? Because real love, real friendship, real connection, they thrive on honesty. In Chapter 4, we'll explore how saying no can unlock your creativity and fuel your purpose. Ready to reclaim your time and passion? Let's go! Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 4, Say No to Distraction, Reclaiming Your Creative Fire. What if I told you that every vice you give to someone else's agenda is a no to your own dreams? Let's talk about creativity, not just painting or writing or composing music. I mean the creativity that lives in all of us, the ideas, the visions, the sparks that make us feel alive. But here's the problem. Creativity needs space. It needs silence. It needs time. And we're giving all of that away. Let me introduce you to Javier. Javier was a brilliant architect. He had a dream to design sustainable homes for low-income families. He had sketches, models, even a prototype. But he also had a problem. He couldn't say no. He said yes to every client, every meeting, every favor. He was constantly busy. And his dream, it sat in a dusty drawer for 5 years. Until one day, he said no. No to a lucrative but soulless project. No to weekend meetings. No to distractions. And in that space, his dream came alive. Today, Javier's designs are transforming communities across Latin America because he finally made room for what mattered. Have you ever felt like your passion is slipping through your fingers? Like your days are filled with tasks, but your soul is starving? Here's the truth. You don't need more time. You need fewer yeses. Steve Jobs once said, focusing is about saying no. Think about that. The man who revolutionized technology didn't do it by doing more. He did it by doing less, better. So ask yourself, what are you saying yes to that's stealing your fire? What could you create if you reclaim your time? Because every no to distraction is a yes to creation. In Chapter 5, we'll explore how saying no can heal your mental health and restore your peace. Ready to breathe again? Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 5, The Mental Health Revolution. Say no to protect your peace. Have you ever felt like your mind was screaming for rest, but your calendar kept shouting, go? Let's talk about mental health. Not the kind you post about on World Mental Health Day. I mean the quiet battles, the invisible exhaustion, the moments when you smile in public but cry in private. We live in a culture that glorifies hustle. Work harder, grind longer, sleep less, say yes to every opportunity, every meeting, every favor, but at what cost? Let me tell you about Priya. Priya was a high-performing lawyer in Mumbai. She had accolades, promotions, and a corner office. But she also had panic attacks, insomnia, a constant feeling of drowning. She kept saying yes to clients, to late nights, to expectations, until one day she collapsed in the courtroom. Her body had reached its limit. Her mind had been screaming for help, but she hadn't listened. Priya took a sabbatical. She started therapy. And most importantly, she learned to say no. No to toxic deadlines. No to emotional labor she didn't consent to. No to the guilt of resting. And slowly she healed. Because here's the truth. Say no is an act of self-care. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Mental health isn't just about meditation apps and journaling. It is about boundaries. It's about choosing peace over pressure. Have you ever said yes just to avoid conflict and ended up in conflict with yourself? Here's a radical idea. You don't owe anyone your breakdown. You don't owe anyone your burnout. You owe yourself your well-being. So the next time your body whispers rest and your mind says, please, listen, say no, protect your peace. Because when your mind is clear, your heart is open. And when your heart is open, you can truly live. In Chapter 6, we'll explore how saying no can empower you in the workplace and help you lead with integrity, ready to rise without losing yourself. Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 6, Leading with No, Power, Integrity, and Professional Respect. What if I told you that saying no at work could earn you more respect, not less? Let's talk about the workplace. It's the arena where many of us feel the most pressure to say yes. Yes to overtime. Yes to unrealistic deadlines. Yes to staying silent when something feels wrong. But here's the truth. Leadership isn't about saying yes to everything. It's about knowing when to say no. Let me introduce you to Marcus. Marcus was a mid-level manager at a global consulting firm. He was smart, capable, and deeply respected. But he had one flaw. He couldn't say no to upper management. When the company pushed for a new client strategy that Marcus knew was unethical, he hesitated. He wanted to speak up, but fear held him back until one day he did it. He said no. He laid out the risks. He stood by his values, and yes, he faced backlash, but he also gained something priceless, credibility. 6 months later, that strategy was exposed in a public scandal. Marcus, he was promoted, not because he was agreeable, but because he was principled. Have you ever felt like saying no at work would cost you everything? What if it's the very thing that sets you apart? Here's the truth. People follow leaders who have boundaries. People trust professionals who protect their time. People respect colleagues who speak up, not just show up. Say no at work doesn't mean you're difficult. It means you're discerning. It means you value quality over quantity. It means you're not afraid to protect your team, your ethics, and your sanity. So the next time you're asked to take on one more thing, ask yourself, will this help me grow or just help me burn out? Because your career is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and every no is a step towards sustainability. In Chapter 7, we'll explore how saying no can transform your parenting, your family, and the legacy you leave behind, ready to break generational patterns. Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 7, Generational Courage. Say no to rewrite the family script. Have you ever said yes to a tradition that made you feel small just because that's how it's always been? Let's talk about family, the place where love begins, and sometimes where silence lives. In many families, say no is taboo. You don't say no to your elders. You don't say no to expectations. You don't say no to the way things have always been. But what if the greatest gift you could give your children is the courage to say no? Let me tell you about Lynn. Lynn grew up in a household where obedience was everything. Her parents sacrificed everything for her education, and in return, they expected her to become a doctor. But Lynn had a secret. She loved photography. She dreamed of capturing stories through her lens. Still, she said yes to medical school. She said yes to a life that wasn't hers. Until one day, she said no. No to the career that didn't light her up. No to guilt. No to living someone else's dream. Her parents were devastated. But over time, they saw her joy. They saw her thrive, and they began to understand. Today, Ling runs a successful photojournalism studio, and she teaches her daughter something radical. You don't have to say yes to me. You have to say yes to yourself. Have you ever inherited a script that doesn't fit your soul? Have you ever passed down a pattern you wish you could break? Here's the truth. Saying no to dysfunction is not betrayal. It's healing. It's saying, I love you, but I will not repeat this. I honor our past, but I choose a different future. And when you do that, you don't just change your life. You change the lives of those who come after you. Because every no to fear is a yes to freedom. Every no to silence is a yes to truth. Every no to shame is a yes to love. So the next time you feel the weight of tradition pressing on your chest, ask yourself, is this legacy or is this a loop? Because you have the power to rewrite the story. And it starts with one word, no. In Chapter 8, we'll explore how saying no can help you reclaim your time and design a life that feels like yours. Ready to become the architect of your own existence? Let's go. Chapter 8, Designing Your Life. Say no to reclaim time and freedom. Have you ever looked at your calendar and wondered, whose life am I living? Let's talk about time, not just hours and minutes. I mean the kind of time that makes you feel alive. Time for joy, time for rest, time for purpose. But here's the hard truth. Most of us are living on borrowed time. Borrowed from our dreams, borrowed from our families, borrowed from ourselves. Why? Because we keep saying yes to things that don't matter. Let me introduce you to Naomi. Naomi was a successful event planner in New York. Her days were packed, meetings, deadlines, social obligations. She was always on, always available. But one day, her 6-year-old son asked her a question that shattered her. Mommy, why are you always busy with other people? Naomi froze. She realized she had built a life that looked amazing on the outside, but felt hollow inside. So she made a radical decision. She started saying no to networking events she didn't care about, no to clients who drained her, no to pressure to always be productive. And in that space, she found herself again. She started painting. She spent weekends with her son. She built a business that aligned with her values. Naomi didn't quit life. She redesigned it. Have you ever felt like your life is happening to you instead of being created by you? Here's the truth. You are the architect, and no is your blueprint. Every time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you say yes to what does. You say yes to mornings that start slow. You say yes to work that lights you up. You say yes to relationships that nourish you. So, take a look at your calendar. Take a look at your commitments. And ask yourself, is this building the life I want or just filling the space? Because your time is sacred, and your no is the key to protecting it. In Chapter 9, we'll explore the spiritual dimension of saying no, how it connects you to your deepest truth and highest self. Ready to go beyond boundaries and into purpose? Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 9, The Spiritual Power of No, Returning to Your Inner Truth. What if I told you that every time you say no to the noise, you say yes to your soul? Let's talk about something deeper, beyond productivity, beyond relationships, beyond calendars and careers. Let's talk about your essence, your truth, your spirit, in a world that constantly demands your attention, your energy, your agreement. What happens to your inner voice? Let me tell you about Elijah. Elijah was a meditation teacher in Bali. He lived simply, taught quietly, but even in the spiritual world, the pressure to say yes was real. Yes to retreats. Yes to collaborations. Yes to being available 24/7. Until one day Elijah felt disconnected from himself. He realized that even in the pursuit of peace, he had become performative. He was saying yes to the image of spirituality, but no to the experience of it. So he stepped back. He said no to public events, no to social media, no to anything that pulled him away from stillness. And in that silence, he heard something he hadn't heard in years, his own soul. Have you ever felt like your spirit is buried beneath obligations? Like your intuition is whispering, but the world is shouting louder. Here's the truth. Saying no is sacred. It's a return. It's a remembering. It's saying, I am not here to please. I am here to live. I am not here to perform. I am here to be. And when you honor that, something shifts. You begin to walk differently, speak differently, love differently. Because you're no longer living from the outside in. You're living from the inside out. So the next time you feel pulled in 1,000 directions, pause, breathe, ask yourself, what does my soul need right now? And then honor it, even if it means say no to everything else. Because your truth is not negotiable, and your no is the doorway to it. In our final chapter, we'll bring it all together and explore how saying no can become a lifelong practice of freedom, love, and purpose. Ready to step into your power fully? Let's finish strong. Chapter 10, The Lifelong Practice, Living with Purpose, Power, and Peace. What if I told you that no isn't just a word, it's a way of life? Let's talk about legacy, not the kind written in history books. I mean the legacy you live every day in your choices. in your energy, in your presence. Because here's the truth, every time you say no with intention, you shape your future. You teach the world how to treat you. You teach yourself how to honor your truth. Let me tell you about Amina. Amina was a retired teacher in Morocco. She had lived a life of service, students, family, community. She had said yes for decades. But in her 60s, she began a new practice. She started saying no. No to guilt, no to obligations that drained her. No to the belief that her worth was tied to her usefulness. And in that space, she found joy. She started painting. She traveled. She mentored young women, not out of duty, but out of delight. Amina said something powerful once. Saying no is how I finally said yes to myself. Have you ever thought about what your life could look like if you lived it on your terms? Here's the invitation. Make no your compass. Let it guide you toward what matters. Let it protect your energy. Let it deepen your relationships. Let it awaken your creativity. Let it heal your mind. Let it honor your spirit. Because no is not the end. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of clarity, the beginning of courage, the beginning of a life that feels like yours. So as we close this journey, I leave you with this. Say no to what dims you. Say no to what distracts you. Say no to what disconnects you. And in doing so, say yes to your power. Say yes to your peace. Say yes to your purpose. Because the most beautiful life is not the one filled with endless yeses. It's the one shaped by intentional no's. So, Kelvin, what will you say no to today? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day.